Everybody, welcome back, or welcome to Raven's Escape Crafts. I'm your host, Sue. I hope you guys are doing great this Tuesday. So welcome. So if you're new here, welcome. I talk things yarn and life, and we work on some projects. If you're not new here, welcome back, and let's have a great Tuesday. So I'm sorry it's been a little bit again. Like I said, in my previous videos, I'm still recovering from my whole health issues and stuff like that. But I'm getting better. I'm feeling a lot better, day by day. So yay. I still have a lot of issues, but we're working on it. Oh. We're working on it. Slow, right? Got to be patient. I know. I'm not good at being patient, though. Really not. So, what are you all working on right now? I started this last night. Look at these colors. This is that jelly bean yarn from, that was from Big Twist. Here, this one. I had my son pick. I needed a new project, so I'm working on a scarf. In a rib stitch. I call it my fisherman rib. It's really just, I do like post stitches, back post, front post, back post, front post. The whole way. I think it makes it really cool. It makes a really thick, nice scarf or hat. I do it to hats too. So I started on this last night. We were watching, what did we watch? Oh my goodness, I cannot think. We watched a movie last night. So, I don't know. I'll think of it in a minute. My brain is not always braining lately. Yeah, because what happened yesterday was we sent my kids to school. They're both in high school. And I was sitting here. I actually slept in yesterday morning, which was nice. And then I woke up and I'm like sitting here waking up. And I get a text message from my son. We're evacuating the school again. They just had a bomb scare, I think last week. Well, yesterday they had a bomb scare again. And this time it was a note. They found notes in the school. So they had to go through the whole school. And it's a humongous school. They have like almost 2,600 kids there. So it's humongous. And so they sent them all down to the football stadium for a little while, but then realized that it was going to take hours and hours to go through it. So they left them out of school at 11 o'clock. So, yeah. So then they came home. And so, I mean, I was, it was fine because they have been busting their butts. Let me tell you what. My poor kids. Like, they really, anybody who says, okay, let me say this. My kids are not sport kids. My kids are nerds, okay? They're total nerds, which I am totally fine with. Perfectly fine. 1,000% fine with. We tried sports when they were younger. It didn't go great. Both of them tried baseball to start. And it was not, they didn't like that. My older one, Logan, he did okay with baseball. They tried T-ball. He did okay with T-ball. Michael wanted to try T-ball, my younger, and he's not a sports kid. He's just not. I mean, he's blind in one eye. I don't know how many of you know that. He has, basically, when he was younger, he could see out of his eye, but as he grew, his optic nerve didn't grow. So he's blind in one of his eyes. So he doesn't have great depth perception to begin with. And he's just not sporty. You know what I'm saying? So they tried baseball. They both tried t-ball. Logan played for 2 years. Michael played for 1. They both said no. But then Logan said he really wanted to try football. He thought football was way more his sport. So he played a year of flag football, which he did fine in flag football. But then the next year was tackle football, and he's not an aggressive kid. Like, he was always a big kid, so like they thought he was going to be really good on the team, but he's not aggressive. Like, they're like, just tackle him, and he's like, I don't want to hurt anybody, and again, just not super sporty, you know what I mean? He would run, he tried to, work out and this and that, and he just wasn't as fast as their kids. It was not his thing. So, so when they quit sports, I said, well, you gotta do something. I'm not gonna just let you guys sit around the house and play video games, So they both decided to take an instrument, which I was thrilled to death with, because I was an instrument girly. I was in orchestra and band and stuff, and so I was like, no, I never marched. I never did marching band, but I did orchestra, I did stage band, I did like the musicals and stuff like that. So I was a jazz band. So I'm like, an instrument is great. I approve 1,000%, So we sent them, so they started playing cello in 5th grade? 4th grade. I think it was. 3rd grade? 3rd grade. Yeah, 3rd grade. They both started playing cello. Now, Logan eventually moved to, his cello teacher introduced him to bass guitar, and he really likes bass guitar. So now he actually, in high school, is playing bass guitar in the marching band. And my younger son, he is still playing cello. He's playing cello in orchestra, but he's in marching band in the pit percussion. So he's playing different pit instruments. So that's really cool. But let me tell you, like, anybody who says band is not a sport, I should be working on this. Those kids are never home. They are always at band. They're constantly a band of some sort of band practice. They are, like Mondays they have band until they get out of school at 1:30, and they have band until 5:30, and then Wednesdays they have band again until 5:30, and then they have a football game at some point, like either Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, which they're gone. Like football games, if it's an away game, they don't even come home after school half the time, and they don't get home until midnight. So they're gone from 7 o'clock in the morning, they leave here, until midnight. That's a long day. That's a long day. I mean, they work really hard. I give them props. And then, of course, both my kids are involved in D&D club, board game club, and Mu Alpha Theta, which is a math, calculus, pre-calc thing. So it's like a club, like a national club. So they're both involved in all those too. So these kids are never home. So Tuesdays they have board game club now. Thursdays they have D&D club. They're never home. They never come home right after school. Never, ever. They are always running around doing something. And then, of course, like marching band, then they also do, like they did Arts in the Park just a few weeks ago, where they were gone like all day Saturday. There was a Arts in the Park near where we live, well, near the school actually. And so they marched down there, marched around the park, and showed off their stuff, and now coming up soon starts the endless Halloween parades. I think they're in 8 Halloween parades again this year. It's crazy. And then they do other events and all sorts of things. So, I mean, anybody who says jazz band, or not jazz band, the band is not like a sport, you got to be kidding me. It is. And, and they're always like working on stuff and getting new songs, and it's funny, They are always working on stuff. They are constantly doing things. So, but yeah, so, I don't know why I went on that rant. I don't. But yeah, so they had, so yesterday they had a bomb scare. So then, of course, the band director was like, well, we're still having practice after school. And I'm like, no, you know what? Because, like, Logan's like, we don't really want to go back for band practice. And I'm like, no. I'm like, because I still can't drive. So their dad has to leave work. Now, he already had to leave work because the bus didn't bring him home. So he had to leave work early to go get them to bring them home. Now, I mean, he just took an early lunch, so it wasn't really a huge deal. But then I'm like, well, now if you need to go back for band practice, he's going to have to leave work again, come home, pick you up, drive you all the way back to school. No, we're not doing it. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are home. Let's just be home. We're not going to mess around with this running back and forth crap. So, luckily, I mean, the nice thing was that enough kids said they couldn't make it that he finally just was like, fine, we're not having band practice. Because, like, a third of the kids. I said, well, it's a lot to ask parents to just be running back and forth all the time. Like, it's not super close. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you need to understand, like, parents can't necessarily always be running. So far today, cross fingers, we haven't had any bomb scares or anything. So hopefully they figure out who's doing this. I feel bad for the school. Like, and then, the part that kills me is, like, they have these bomb scares, which, again, like, we had them when I was a kid, like, in high school, too. Like, there was always bomb scares and stuff, or kids blowing stuff up in the toilet, or whatever. And I'm like, and then these people are like, oh, it's all the hood rats, it's all the it's the, because your area's, there's so many bad people. Kids, like, really, kids have always been jerks. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's always been jerk kids. There was plenty of jerk kids when I went to school, too. Right? Like, I mean, anybody who's, it's nothing new. They just make a big deal about it because, let me put it this way, and this is something that's super true. So, I live in an area where, like, where we live is what's considered, like, the city around here, okay? We live in Allentown, Pennsylvania. There's 125,000 people, whatever. So, we live in the city, okay? And then we're surrounded by quite a few uppity areas. I mean, there's lower income areas outside of here, too. But, we're considered the inner city school. And then, like, a lot of the ones around us are, like, better than, way better, which, now, I did not grow up in the city. I grew up in the country, and I went to what is considered one of the better school districts around here. Now, I can tell you plenty of stories that are not so elite. Let's put it that way. But the part that kills me since moving into the city and being part of the city, everything that happens in the city gets reported, okay? So, like, every time there's an incident, it's like blasted on the news. This happened, that happened, especially in the school district. Oh my God. Anything happens in the school district, blast, 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 blast. It's on the news. It's on social media. It's here. It's there. Oh my God. Out of town this. Out of town that. This happened. This happened. This happened. But the same stuff happens in these better school districts. It just doesn't get blasted. That's what pisses me off. Because now we have a ton of kids in our school district. Okay. I worked for the school district for 5 years. When my kids were in elementary school, I worked at their elementary school, and up until COVID, and then happenings happened, and then I no longer had a job there. But that's a whole other story. But like, I'm telling you, I worked at this school for 5 years. Best people I've ever met that worked there. The teachers, the staff, from the custodians to the lunch people to the desk, the secretary, to every teacher, the principal, like just the best people I've worked with, okay, like in my life. Kind, compassionate, always looking out for these kids. I mean, bending over backwards, going above and beyond. I'm saying almost every single person at that school, above and beyond. I mean, you would not believe how much they did to help these kids. Knowing that some of these kids come from difficult households, let's put it that way. And not everybody has, we're a school district where the have-nots are a huge portion of the school district. So everyone, I mean, above and beyond. Like, I loved working there so much. I really did. I really was upset when I had to leave because COVID stuff happened. Because, I mean, the kids, amazing. I mean, obviously there was a few. But like, I mean, the kids were so amazing. And some of them did come from very rough households. You know what I mean? I don't want to say bad about the parents, but like, because I'm telling you, like, most of the parents I met, they were doing their best. You know what I mean? Doing their best, trying their hardest. I mean, just sometimes there's just not the resources, the ability, you know what I mean? Circumstances, life happens, and just these kids are amazing, and the teachers and staff, amazing. I mean, I'm telling you, above and beyond. I mean, like, even the lunch people would sneak food to kids that they knew didn't necessarily have food at home. Like, and we did. I mean, I worked in the cafeteria, and I was a paraprofessional. I oversaw the kids at like breakfast and lunch. I mean, we snuck food home for kids. The lunch people snuck food to kids who they knew had food insecurities. The teachers, oh my goodness, the teachers above and beyond. Even like at, like, say, Thanksgiving, we would talk to the guidance counselor, and of course she knew a lot more about the home lives of the kids, and we would get a glimpse because they would tell us things, where she knew a lot more what was going on in people's lives. So every year these teachers would donate whole Thanksgiving meals for families that maybe wouldn't have had one. Now, they didn't need to do that, And the same at Christmas. At Christmas time, we had an angel tree at the school. And she would talk to family. The guidance counselor would talk to families and find out like who wasn't going to have presents for their kids for Christmas, and find out maybe some things that they might want. And then without telling us who, like, she would just put a little tree up in the lobby, and she would put gifts on it. And you could go over and you could take a card and buy the gift and then give it to her, and she would wrap them and then give them to the family. So we didn't know who they were going to. We didn't know which kids needed that. I mean, like I said, a lot of us had a good idea of who the kids were that really were struggling. But, she never revealed that to us. She never told us who they were for. She would just you brought the gift in, and then she would wrap it, and then she would distribute them to the families. And, so, I mean, just the heartwarming and the way teachers took time with these kids to listen, to talk, to make sure that they were going on the right path, it's amazing. And then, of course, my kids went to middle school, and I was a little more concerned because you know how middle school is. Sometimes middle school is, at least my experience with junior high school was that it was very rough. Okay. But let me tell you something. My kids went to this middle school. And again, we met some of the most amazing teachers, amazing staff members that really, truly took time to make sure my kids were getting the best of everything. I mean, they befriended them. They gave them good advice. They talked to them. They gave them, they uplifted them so much. And this was middle school, where a lot of kids struggle. And the teachers and the staff were so good. I mean, their teachers were so amazing. They were taking like double math classes. They got all sorts of ahead. I mean, my kids are in 9th and 10th grade, and my younger son is taking pre-calculus in 9th grade. And my older son is taking calculus in 10th grade. AP calculus. So if he takes the AP class at the end of takes the AP test at the end of the year and passes it, he gets college credits in 10th grade. I mean, they really do try to help and look out for the kids. And again, now, this is our second year of dealing with high school. Again, I was concerned a little bit. High school, there's 2,600, 2,700 kids at this school. It's a huge school. You could get lost in there. You know what I mean? To think that my kid is going to be treated special out of 2,700 children, I mean, I didn't hold a lot of hope for that. And I was so wrong. I was so wrong. Again, the teachers, the staff, the principals, it is out of this world. Out of this world. I mean, they really do look out for my kids. They take care of my kids. They look out. The teachers are amazing. They try their darndest. I mean, the fact that there's a lot of kids that just don't care, which my kids see a lot, I'm not going to, I blame a lot of that on the parents. I do. That you don't think your education is important. I do think my kids' education is important. Just because, maybe if my kids were average students, but they're not. I have a lot of talks with my kids about, opportunity. You're setting yourself up for your life. And, you know what I mean? If they can do good and get scholarships and things to schools, you're setting yourself up for your future, I know it's a lot of pressure, and I know they bust their butt now, but I'm like, you have to understand, bust your butt now You're making your whole, this is your opportunity. And these other kids are squandering it, and you're not. And the fact is, you can make your whole rest of your life easier by not squandering this opportunity. You know what I mean? So, but like the teachers, again, like I said, they are so phenomenal. They're so like determined to help these kids to get where they need to go. And I love that. I love it so much. I really do. And so hopefully we get these bomb scares under control. Oh, my poor kid's like, oh, we went to first period and second period and then 30 seconds of third period and we got evacuated and, I had stuff I was supposed to do today. And, like, I mean, he's more worried that they're missing work and stuff like that. It's funny as heck. Where most of these kids are just, like, thrilled that they're getting out of school. I just think this is the partiest. So, yeah. So, hopefully they spend the whole day in school today. I don't know. This is second bomb scare in 2 weeks. So I guess I should do some crochet and yarn news. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I went off on a total rant. So, couple little updates. Let's do that. So my Etsy shop is actually doing really good. I don't know. Like over the summer, it was a little slow. Which I was, again, I wasn't feeling the best, so I wasn't putting as much effort into things as I should have been. I was still making items, but I wasn't taking enough pictures. I wasn't taking any pictures. Oh my God, I just did pictures over the weekend. I had so many items I had forgotten. I made so many things I hadn't taken pictures of yet. Oh my God, my list is atrocious of what I need to get put up on my Etsy shop. So much stuff. But like over the summer, it got a little slow, which typically, like, of course, sometimes I sell a lot more soaps and stuff in the summer, but of course my crochet items don't do so well in the summer because people are not thinking about wearing heavy stuff. And a lot of my things, like, obviously my washcloths and dishcloths and things are year round, but, like hats, scarves, even like the cosplay stuff is like crochet, so it's heavier. My Ren Pair stuff, not necessarily like summertime vibes, you know what I mean? But of course, things started to pick up again because it's getting toward fall. And then of course, when I was in the hospital, oh my goodness, I got so many orders. My poor husband was shipping orders like every day. He was bringing the cards to the hospital for me to write out. It was freaking, oh my God, it was nuts. And it has been going good since. I mean, I have been shipping orders every single day, which is amazing. I am truly grateful for that. And one of my subscribers, she's ordered twice from me, Big A. I'm not going to mention any names, but she knows who she is, and she's a near and dear friend to me. I've known her literally since I was born. She not only placed an order for herself, but she ordered a gift for somebody else, which I thought was super cute. And that person contacted me. Of course, I know the person that she bought for as well. And they contacted me and loved everything she bought them. So thank you, Big A. Shout out. So I am beyond blessed that my Etsy store has been doing good. So I really need to get my button gear when I feel good and put some more items up. I have a ton of items to put up on there. I need to create listings and get them out there so that people can buy them. I have like so much cool stuff to put out, and I'm super excited about that. And I still have stuff to take pictures of. I have like a lot of things to take pictures of. But so I'm beyond blessed with that. Like I said, yesterday I just sold 6 soaps that I've had in stock forever. Somebody purchased them. They're like they're called lavender mint loofah, and they have a loofah bar inside, and they smell like lavender mint. Beyond blessed. I mean, I'm beyond blessed that my Etsy shop's been doing great. And like I said, I got to really get some items up there so that people can purchase them. I still have a lot of stuff. Like I said, things got behind. It just did. And life, and I did not feel great, and things just got way behind. Oh, we're going to have a kitty cat again. So, Yep. So I mean that's going on. As far as like yarn and stuff, I've been trying not to buy too much because like I have hospital bills coming up the butt. But I did see that new Caron Lustre yarn that came out. Have any of you seen that? I may have to. I tell you, I went on Yarn Inspirations the other day because that's where everybody was getting it from, and most of the colors that I wanted were sold out. So I didn't purchase any, but I was super. Had they been in stock, I bet you I would have put a big order in. Because I have so many ideas for that yarn. Oh, especially for my Ren Fair stuff. If you haven't seen it, like I said, it's really cool. It's like metallic-y looking. It's like got a black halo, but then it's like metallic-y looking. And I was like, oh my God, that will look so amazing in like my dragon's tails. Oh my God. It looks super amazing. All right. Sorry about that. I just got stuck on a 2.5-hour phone call with my husband's cousin who wanted to chit chat, and then I had lunch with my husband. So apologies. I don't even remember what I was talking about. I think I was talking about the Caron Lustre yarn. I want to get that so bad. Like I said, there's so many things I was thinking about making, like there's like a gold and platinum color that I was thinking would look really cool to do like my hoods and stuff in. I don't know. I really want to pick some of that up. But like I said, I went on Yarn Inspirations and it was out. I think it was Yarn Inspirations and it was out of stock. So I like all the colors I was looking for. So when that comes back, and I did see, I don't know if anybody, I had a customer I sold a hood to, and she asked me what yarn I used, and it was the Joann's Big Twist Tweed in the dark green color. And I had looked for the Big Twist Tweed previously and couldn't find it anywhere. I did now. I was just on Hirschner's over the weekend and they had it. So if anybody's looking for the Big Twist Tweed, they do have it, and they have it in the colors that Big Twist had. So I don't know how much they have or if it's something, but if anybody's looking for it, they do have it. So I'm waiting for a sale or something, and I'm going to pick some up because I don't have any more, and I really like their tweeds. So I just wanted to share that in case anybody's looking for it or thought about it or anything like that. I think that's all for today. I think I'm going to end the video here. I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate all of you for hanging out with me and spending time with me. I hope you love the videos a little bit because I really do enjoy making them. Enjoy chit-chatting and talking and all that jazz. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'm going to try to have a wonderful rest of my day. I have to call my mom now, which after talking on the phone for 2.5 hours this morning, I'm like, but we're going to do it. And I'm planning on having a great rest of the day. I'm going to work on my scarf some more. I have another project I want to start. I'll talk about that when I start it. So I hope you guys have a great day. If you're crocheting, enjoy. If not, enjoy this beautiful weather. Enjoy whatever you're doing. Do something good for yourself today. Love you all. Choose love every day. Bye.